Hey everyone! As someone who has always been fascinated by traditions that have survived for thousands of years, very recently I came across something that completely captured my attention: GRIHA PRAVESH, the traditional Indian housewarming ceremony. At first, I thought it was simply a celebration for moving into a new house, but the more I explored it, the more questions I had. That brings us to today's fascinating journey, GRIHA PRAVESH, inspired by the insights of Captain Ajit Vadayakil. So, looking in, I have to ask, what exactly is GRIHA PRAVESH? Let's open the front door and step inside this ancient tradition together.
Well, that raises an important question towards our Hindu traditions. In India, Hindus convert a new house into a home by doing a GRIHA PRAVESH ceremony, which also known as a housewarming ceremony. According to the Atharva Veda of 5000 BC, there's a meaning of prayer saying, I enter this home with a kumbha, fill it with ambrosia, and anoint all those who drink of this heavenly water, and protect this home. I enter this house to dwell in it. This ceremony is done to purify the new home spiritually, remove any negative energy believed to be present in the space, invite peace, prosperity, and positive vibrations, seek blessings for health, happiness, and stability. It becomes a joyful celebration of new beginnings, positive energy, and heartfelt gratitude for the beautiful journey that is about to unfold within a new home. Added to this, the most important ceremonies in a traditional GRIHA Pravesh are the Vastu Puja, the Ganapati Fire Homam, the milk boiling over ritual, the coconut breaking ritual, and the sprinkling of sacred Kalasha Kumbham water throughout the house. The common procedures and mantras used in the Griha Pravesha Puja are taken from the Matsya Purana, chapters 268 and 269, written down 5,000 years ago. According to Hindu tradition, a dweller should not occupy or move belongings into a property without first performing the housewarming ceremony.
Why has this ceremony remained so important for thousands of years? What fascinated me most was the idea that, in India, a house is not considered a home merely because people move into it.
Wow, that's remarkable. In our Indian homes, emotions are given a safe and sacred space for expression. The Griha Pravesh ceremony is a prayer of gratitude, a heartfelt acknowledgement of the blessings of a new beginning. A prayer is to the soul what air is to the lungs. At home, our hearts sing for simple things. We let go of perfectionism and discover that true richness lies not in possessions, but in love, trust, and togetherness. Home is where we feel accepted with beautiful memories created. The life's deepest bonds are also nurtured here. Perhaps that is the most beautiful lesson of all. In our homes, we do not betray trust. We honor it, protect it, and pass it on from one generation to the next. A home is shaped when it is filled with good intentions, blessings, harmony, and positive energy. According to ancient scriptures, it is said not to schedule the ceremony if the wife of the house is more than 6 months pregnant.
In many countries, moving in is just about picking a date and unpacking. What's the deeper meaning behind these Indian traditions?
Yes, the interesting part is, in Hindu traditions, the timing is very important. It is strictly determined by astrology. Families move into their new home on an auspicious day, carefully chosen according to traditional astrological guidance, believing the house will be blessed with harmony, prosperity, and positive energy from the very first step. Happiness, after all, begins at home. A well-aligned home nurtures kindness, patience, generosity, humility, fairness, and all those beautiful qualities we wish to cultivate in life. Interestingly, the housewarming ceremony is considered second in importance only to weddings in India. Can you imagine that? Before the big day, the house is cleaned thoroughly and the floors are carefully washed. If necessary, the furniture is covered with fresh, clean white bed sheets. The water sources are also checked and tested in advance. The house must be scrupulously clean, as this symbolizes the removal of disorder and the preparation of the space for sacred activity. It is also believed that negative energies are removed through this process of cleansing and purification. All of these preparations come together to make Griha Pravesh much more than a ritual. Yes, it's all about preparing the sacred space not just physically, but energetically as well. In Hindu traditions, Mango leaves play a special role in the GRIHA Pravesh ceremony. They are traditionally hung as thurans above the entrance of the new house. Mango leaves naturally contain water and provide a cooling effect from the sun's rays. It also serves as a protective barrier against negative ethereal auras and unwanted influences. The leaves are also used for the control of evil spirits. Traditionally, they are associated with Kamadeva, the deity of love. Regarding banana trees, traditionally they are attached to poles at the main gate through which guests enter the new premises. It helps to neutralize negative or evil auras. They are also erected at the entrance of the new house as a symbol of auspiciousness. Interestingly, ham radio operators know that even a banana tree can function as a dipole antenna or as a Marconi antenna, where the earth acts as a mirror and effectively doubles the electrical length of the vertical antenna. Then you have columns that are drawn at the entrance with flowers. It is made out of rice powder. It is a decoration that expresses beauty and creativity. Each pattern is carefully constructed, often using dots and flowing lines to create intricate geometric designs.
What is the first ritual that actually begins? Are there other sacred items that must be arranged?
That's an excellent question. Before the ceremony begins, all the sacred materials for the ritual are carefully arranged and prepared. There is khalasham preparation, along with coconut, mango leaves, turmeric, new milk vessel, homam materials, lamps, camphor, flowers, fruits, kumukum, turmeric, new stainless steel vessel, ladle, camphor, bell, lump sugar, drinking glasses, navadhyana, Bengal gram, wheat, horse gram, green gram, rice, white beans, black sesame seeds, chickpeas, and black gram, new dhoti, mirror, your favorite god pictures, dakshina for pujari and house construction in charge. You need plantains, coconut, pomegranate, mango leaves, banana leaves, incense sticks, flowers, betel leaves, and nuts, holy living water, gold ornaments, rice, etuhamt cow ghee, coins, deepam lamps, coconut oil and wicks for lamp, matchbox, items ordered by the pujari for Ganapati Homam, khalasam, lemon, conch, rice powder for rangoli. To someone unfamiliar with Indian traditions, this may seem like a long list of ritual objects. All these items are arranged for Ganapati Homam and Vastu Puja, which are part of a complete symbolic system of purification, invocation, and blessing. During rituals like Kalasha Sthapna, Ganapati Homam, and Vastu Puja, each object has a specific spiritual role. We will talk about Kalasham.
Wow, it's remarkable how so many simple everyday items can come together to tell such a profound story about life, family, nature, and the sacredness of a home. But how does the main ceremony begin? What is Kalasham and how is it set up?
Good question. Kalasha means sacred vessel and Sthapana means establishment or installation. During the ritual, priests invoke divine energies into the Kalasha through mantras. The Kalasha then becomes a temporary seat of the deity being worshipped. So, Kalasham is a copper pot with a narrow mouth filled with living water, usually from the Ganges river. You are not allowed to fill chlorinated, chemical-laden water in the sacred pot. At the side of the pot, a swastika symbol using turmeric marked. A whole, unhusked areca nut is placed in the water. An arrangement of 5 mango leaves is then placed so that the bottom of the leaves points upward. Red vermilion or sindhor dots are applied to the mango leaves. An unhusked coconut is placed on top with its 3 eyes facing upward, holding the mango leaves in place. The areca nut has the capability to reduce copper ions into copper nanoparticles and, secondarily, impart a pleasant aroma to the water. Symbolically, the areca nut represents the male principle, while the mango leaf represents the female principle. Together, they create a powerful symbol of life, creation, and balance. Then the main ceremony begins with the lighting of the lamps. In our tradition, this is called inviting light and prosperity. When we light the deepam, it is not just a flame, it represents knowledge, positivity, and the removal of darkness from our lives. Along with this, we offer camphor and incense. The camphor burns completely without leaving residue, symbolizing the idea of ego dissolving into purity, while the fragrance of incense creates a calm and sacred atmosphere. Together, these rituals make the space peaceful and spiritually pure so that we can begin the ceremony with good energy and blessings. This is followed Ganapati Homam, invoking Lord Ganesha's blessings for an obstacle-free beginning. Mind-blowing, right?
What is Ganapathy Homam? Why Lord Ganesha is invoked at the beginning of important ceremonies, and how this sacred fire ritual is believed to remove obstacles, negative influences, and create an auspicious start for a new home.
Now that's interesting. Great question. According to Captain Ajit Vadayakil, before sunrise, Ganapati Homam should performed. Ganapati means Lord Ganesha. He is recognized as the son of Lord Shiva, and goddess Parvati is known as Vigneshwara, the remover of obstacles. Homam is Homa. It is a sacred fire ritual in which offerings are made into a consecrated fire while Vedic mantras are chanted. During the chanting of the mantras, an isotopic energy is activated, cleansing the space and removing negative influences. Lord Ganesha is invoked in the Ganapati Homam. This sacred fire ritual is dedicated to Lord Ganesha. It is performed to remove obstacles, reduce negative vibrations, and help protect against harmful planetary influences. That is why Hindus traditionally seek his blessings before beginning any important event, including a GRIHA PRAVESH or housewarming ceremony. Through prayers, mantras, and offerings into the sacred fire, families pray for a smooth, peaceful, and auspicious new beginning. The sacred fire ritual begins, and the smoke of the homam purifies every corner of the home, followed by Vastu Puja.
That's fascinating. What is Vastu Puja and why is it significant?
Vastu Puja is a special ceremony performed to bless a new home and bring it into harmony with nature. It is an important part of the GRIHA PRAVESH or housewarming ceremony. Vastu Puja is based on Vastu Shastra, an ancient Indian system of architecture. You can think of it as a guide for designing homes that work in balance with natural elements, such as sunlight, airflow, space, and direction. For centuries, these principles have influenced the way homes are planned and built across India. The goal is to create a living space that promotes comfort, harmony, and well-being. Through prayers, offerings, and blessings, the Vastu Puja celebrates this connection between the home, nature, and the people who will live in it, marking a positive and auspicious beginning. While performing the Ganapati and Vastu Pujas, the Vedic chants are recited to purify the space, invoke divine blessings, harmonize the home's energy, and seek prosperity, health, and protection for the family. The Vedic chants are considered sacred sound vibrations that create a spiritually auspicious environment.
I've heard something fascinating about chanting Vedic verses. What makes these ancient chants so special?
According to Captain Ajit Vadayakil, the Vedic Shrutis contain patterns associated with the golden mean, 1.618, the Fibonacci series, Pascal's triangle, the geometry of Ohm, and 108, the Ulam spiral, Lucas numbers, prime number relationships, and isotope patterns embedded within them. These scalar longitudinal sounds are heard by the human heart chakra. Magic of the verses are in sound, not the meaning, which is intended to introduce a feeling of gratitude. Through these Vedic chants, the sacred Homan smoke, and the resonant sound of the conch, the home is purified, harmonized, and infused with positive spiritual energy.
Interesting. But what is the purpose of the sacred homam smoke, the blowing of the conch, and the ceremonial light? And how do they come together to sanctify a new home in Hindu rituals?
Traditionally, this sacred smoke from the homam purifies the whole atmosphere in the new house, and every room is blessed. It gently drifts through hallways, bedrooms, kitchens, and all living spaces, symbolically touching every corner of the new home. Many families even cover furniture with thin white sheets beforehand, as the smoke is understood to spread everywhere. Yes, after the homam, the conch is blown. When the priest blows the conch, its echoing sound is heard through the entire house. This symbolizes the removal of negativity, the invocation of divine blessings, and the welcoming of prosperity and harmony. Ancient Hindu scriptures have declared that when a conch shell is blown, the sound creates subtle or scalar vibrations that can travel through the space at great speed. These vibrations are said to be experienced not just by the ears, but felt deeply within the heart. Overall, the ceremony appears as a carefully orchestrated sacred ritual, where light, sound, fire, fragrance, and intention come together to create an atmosphere of harmony, positivity, and auspicious beginnings. Just before the Mahabharata war, Lord Krishna blew on his Panchajanya Shank, striking terror in the Kaurava camp hearts. This sound went all around the world like a soliton carrier wave, using the ionosphere as a waveguide, 7.83 Hz.
Here's where the ceremony becomes even more fascinating. The Vedic mantras have been chanted, the rituals are completed, and the home is blessed. As someone new to these traditions, I have to ask, can you explain how the family first enters the house, and what is the next ritual after entering inside the house?
Now, this is where things get really exciting. The next important ritual is known as the sacred entry. It is one of the most emotional moments of the entire ceremony. After the completion of the Ganapati Homam, with all the smoke pervading the house, along with the echoing vibrations of the conch, the family prepares to step into the new home for the very first time. Remember the prayer. Mentioned at the beginning, I enter this home with a kumbham filled with ambrosia. We had discussed about kalasham. This is the very same kalasham referred to in the prayer and is carried during the house entry ritual. What is being recited in the Vedic prayer is simultaneously brought to life through action. As prescribed in the ritual, the wife of the house leads the entry carrying the sacred kalasham, stepping into the home first with her right foot, followed by the rest of the family. It is a simple act, yet deeply symbolic. References to the kalasham are found in the Rig Veda, written in 5000 BC. This marks the official beginning of life within the new home. After the sacred entry, in many Hindu traditions, a decorated Vedic humped cow is brought into the home. It is gently led through the rooms to bestow blessings. According to tradition, if the cow takes a crap inside the house, it is considered auspicious and a sign of good fortune. An arti is performed, camphor is lit, and prayers are offered. Kumkum and turmeric, and are applied as symbol of honor and blessing. Fruits are fed, and family members gently touch the cow and offer silent prayers. For many, this becomes one of the most touching moments of the entire ceremony. It creates a powerful sense of connection to nature, to tradition, and to generations who have preserved these customs. More than a ritual, it becomes an expression of reverence, gratitude, and continuity, linking the family to a cultural heritage passed down through countless generations. If this is not possible, the cow is welcomed at the entrance itself. For centuries, Indians revered the cow as a symbol of nourishment, prosperity, and abundance.
Wow! I am now waiting to understand about the milk boiling ritual. Is it meant to be a sacred beginning? Why is this moment considered so important? And what is the significance of the milk boiling ritual in the ceremony?
Yes, the milk boiling over ritual is compulsory on the day of GRIHA PRAVESH after the completion of Vastu Puja and Ganapati Homam. The wife of the house does the milk boiling in a new vessel. The family celebrates the moment. Then boiled milk is then first offered to the gods. It is sweetened with sugar and distributed among the invitees as prasad. As soon as the milk boils over and a coconut is broken, the house becomes a home.
Yes, the sharing of prasad symbolizes unity, gratitude, and the blessings received through the ceremony. What is the role of a coconut in all Hindu rituals?
Coconut is known as Shrifala, the fruit of God, and is the only fruit used to symbolize God during a Hindu ritual. The coconut is a sacred offering that symbolizes purity, devotion, and surrender to divine energy. Its breaking represents the shattering of the ego and the offering of oneself to the divine. For thousands of years, coconuts have been used in yagnas as an integral part of Vedic rituals. Traditionally, the same coconut that is placed on the khalasa is now used for this ritual. With prayers offered and intentions focused, the coconut is broken. For many Hindu families, this moment symbolically completes the transformation. The building is no longer just a structure. It has become a home. The sacred water from the khalasam is then sprinkled throughout the house, blessing every room and inviting purification and protection. Subsequently comes the celebrations in the form of feast and the profound significance of the first sacred night spent in the new home.
Wow, that was fascinating information about the breaking of the coconut. So, Is the traditional feast also a way of expressing celebration and gratitude? What does the first sacred night in the new home hold a special meaning in your tradition?
That's right. Once the major rituals are completed, finally, it is time to celebrate. Guests are welcomed warmly. In many households, traditional meals are served on banana leaves, and the atmosphere is filled with gratitude, conversation, laughter, and blessings. The family then spend their first sacred night in the new house. According to Hindu custom, the house should not remain empty after the GRIHA PRAVESH puja. The owner, spouse, and children stay overnight, marking the true beginning of life in the new dwelling. As night falls, the house remains illuminated. Lights shine from every room. The exterior glows. The darkness is pushed away. This beautiful tradition symbolizes life, warmth, and positive energy. It is a powerful reminder that the house is no longer an empty structure. It is now a living home, filled with the presence of its family. The home now stands ready for the future, blessed, occupied, and filled with hope. The rituals have been completed, the prayers have been offered, and a new chapter has begun. For the family, this is more than moving into a new house. It is the beginning of a new journey, surrounded by blessings, gratitude, and the promise of a bright future.
But wait! Let's explore more on the spiritual symbolism behind each GRIHA PRAVESH rituals. Why are the mango and banana leaves at the entrance of the house, and what are kolams?
I'm glad you asked that. Mango leaves are also a symbol of positive energy, fertility, and abundance. It is also an auspicious sign of growth, prosperity, harmony, and the continuation of family life in the new home. Bunches of mango leaves absorb negative energy from anyone entering the home, while the banana leaf represents abundance and hospitality rooted in nature. Then you have the kolams. Every morning across India, countless households create these designs at their doorsteps, continuing a tradition that has been practiced for generations. Isn't it amazing? It is a kind of spiritual protection. A kolam is a sacred geometry pattern that purifies the threshold and welcomes positive energy into the home. Some people describe kolams as visual prayers. Just as a mantra uses sound to express devotion, a kolam uses shape and pattern. Kolams are a reflection of the perception of life in the past, where the cosmic forces at work were looked at with awe and reverence, fear and hope. They are beautiful geometric patterns designed with rice powder at the entrance of the new house. They are sketched on the floor with a grid of 108 dots, which serve as the skeletal structure for the kolam. The lines are drawn, connecting the dots or around them, very often in a single continuous curve. The number 108 has profound cosmic significance in Hindu tradition. And yes, it is visually stunning. If you have a cat as a pet, you can see that it loves to sleep within the kolam. In stories from Hindu tradition, sacred boundaries often symbolize safety, discipline, and spiritual awareness. The kolam serves as a reminder of those timeless ideas. In this way, sacred sound and sacred geometry often appear together in traditional practices. In the story of Ramayana of 4300 BC, Prince Lakshman, the brother of Sri Ram, draws a kolam line around Mother Sita, the wife of Sri Ram, and tells her that as long as she is inside the perimeter, no harm can come to her. Tantric kolams are drawn before Agnihotra fire rituals. But geometry also appears in another fascinating context, the Shri Yantra and the symbolism associated with sound and consciousness.
Hey! What is the symbolic and spiritual representation of these items like lamps, fire offerings, grains, flowers, sacred sounds, and offerings to priests? How do they collectively contribute to the spiritual harmony of the home?
Well, both symbolism and spirituality work together, especially if you see here, lamps symbolizes the removal of darkness, ignorance, and negativity. It is also awakening of knowledge with awareness at home. The fire ritual, the homam, where sacred fire acts as a transforming force. Then the conch is used to invoke divine presence and activate positive energy in the environment. Along with this, we make offerings like flowers, fruits, incense, camphor, and sweets. They are symbols of devotion, gratitude, and surrender, showing respect to nature and the divine forces that sustain life. We also use grains like navadhanya, turmeric, kumkum, and rice powder rangoli, which represent prosperity, fertility, health, and the sanctification of the space. They are placed at the entrance to invite auspicious energy and mark the home as sacred. Then there is dakshina and gifts, which are expressions of gratitude offered to the priest for spiritual guidance and to workers for their physical effort in building the home. It is a way of acknowledging both spiritual and material contribution. Finally, items like mirrors, lemons, and protective symbols are used to reflect and remove negativity, ensuring balance, harmony, and protection within the home. In simple terms, all these materials together are not random objects. They form a symbolic system that cleanses the space, invokes divine presence, performs fire offerings, and blesses the home with health, prosperity, protection, and harmony.
You mentioned that the references of Kalasha goes back to the ancient Vedic times, but how can a simple sacred pot carry so much spiritual significance?
That's exactly the question the tradition invites us to explore. The Kalasha, or the sacred pot, serves as a reminder that from completeness arises creation, and within that completeness lies harmony and renewal. Whether viewed spiritually or symbolically, it remains a powerful cultural image. This isn't just decoration, it's a cosmic symbol, a transceiver of energy, a container of fullness. And the water itself is sacred, right? The Kalasha is often described as a sacred vessel used in rituals, symbolizing purity, abundance, and spiritual completeness. It is also said to represent Purna Tattva, or fullness. What does that mean? Hindu gods Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the mediator, Shiva, the destroyer, and their consorts Saraswati, Lakshmi, Parvati as the Trinity or Tamas, Sattva, Rajas. In philosophical terms, it expresses the idea that creation arises from fullness and everything returns to fullness. So the Kalasha is not just a physical object, but a deeper symbol. Yes. In traditional understanding, it represents the womb of creation, a space where life, energy, and abundance are nurtured and preserved. A Kalasha has deep meaning. It is a literal cosmos transceiver. The Maharishis who preserved Ganges water in copper vessels understood something of great significance. They literally resonated the cosmos with their 12-strand DNA and king-size pineal glands. Yes, Hindu verses describe the Kalasha or Purna Kumbha as a symbol of wholeness and divine abundance. These texts are ancient and often expressed in poetic and symbolic language. So, the deeper message is about fullness and creation. Exactly. In most traditional understanding, the focus is on intention, devotion, and inner transformation. So whether viewed spiritually or symbolically, the ritual carries deep meaning. Yes, and that is why it continues to be an important part of cultural and religious practice even today.
If the Kalasha represents creation, abundance, and completeness, what makes the water inside it so special and sacred?
There's a fascinating layer behind this concept. In Hindu traditions, water is far more than a physical substance. It is considered sacred, life-giving, and deeply connected to purification, blessings, and spiritual energy. The living water from the Kalasha is sprinkled all around the home during the ceremony. It carries blessings and harmonizes the home. Water, when sanctified through chanting of mantras or by bathing an idol, is known as Tirthum. Indian Vedic rituals depended on purity of utterance. It is proved and believed that when the sound Om is uttered in front of a drop of water, it transforms into a Shri Yantra, a sacred geometric form that is perfectly symmetrical and often described as holographic, where every part contains the whole. Yes, according to Captain Ajit Vadayakil, in Hindu traditions, it is perceived that water molecules are affected by our thoughts, words, and feelings. Water is the very source of all life. Human vibrational energy, ideas, and music affect the molecular structure of water. Even a small amount of water has enough cluster structures available to absorb whole libraries of information. Water registers precise molecular information about the world around it and is extremely sensitive to the frequencies that come into it. Water remembers or stores this information and can transport it into new environments as it travels through various water cycles. Water responds to subtle events, even far out in the cosmos. It is considered a far more sensitive medium for reception. It is said that water receives cosmic radiation in the form of extremely low frequencies throughout nature, even 5 kilometers below the sea, creating resonances or vibrations that are healing and healthy for nature since the beginning of the world. The moon, the sun, and even the stars communicate with water. The earth itself is constantly retuning its resonances to this influx. Living water is an organized state of matter and energy, capable of storing and transmitting information. Water has a memory in which it stores information about surrounding sounds, chemicals, and even human emotions. Water retains information even after the most stringent purification and filtration processes. This memory is stored in clusters of H2O molecules that are formed when several molecules join together.
Now I'm even more interested in understanding this tradition. The cow, the milk, and the overflowing pot all seem to be deeply symbolic. What is the deeper meaning behind the Vedic cow and milk boiling ritual?
Excellent observation. According to our ancient Hindu texts, all gods are said to reside in our Indian Vedic humped cow. Traditional practitioners use only ghee prepared from Indian Vedic humped cows that is suitable for sacred Agnihotra rituals. You can notice the difference between our Desi humped cows and the Western hump-less ones. Our Vedic cows have glossy hair, pleasant aroma, and strong immunity. They repel insects naturally. The hump-less cows? Not so much. And it's not just about appearance. The A1 milk and ghee from Western humpless should strictly be avoided for any Hindu ceremonies. For many Hindu families, the arrival of the Indian Vedic cow is more than a ritual. It is a blessing of prosperity, abundance, and positive energy entering the home. The cow is welcomed with deep respect and gratitude. Its presence in the ceremony reminds the family of the importance of nurturing both body and spirit. Coming to boiling of milk ritual, it represents the beginning of life in the new home, a fresh start, and a new chapter. Milk is a symbol of purity. The milk from the Indian Vedic humped cow is considered pure, the famous A2 milk. Milk boiling is a symbol of prosperity, auspicious beginning with gratitude and harmony to the new house. Before the milk is boiled, a small prayer is offered. May the new house be filled with an abundance of prosperity, happiness, and good health. And then comes the moment everyone waits for. The milk begins to rise, higher and higher, until finally it overflows. Milk overflowing towards the east is a symbol of success and prosperity. This overflow is welcomed and is celebrated with joy. It also signifies abundance and auspicious beginnings for the household. After the milk is boiled, sugar is added and is first offered to the Hindu gods. The milk then becomes prasadam. Milk boiling ritual isn't just symbolic, it's a spiritual and energetic cleansing. If the milk gets curdled, it shows there is some imbalance or disturbed energies in the new house. You should call a Vastu expert. Usually, negative energies are cleared through proper cleansing and homam rituals.
Now, that's interesting. In India, when anything new is launched, for example, new ships, cars, office, or a new house, I see they break a coconut. Why is it? So, let us talk about it.
Yes, you got it. It is very important subject. The past 11,000 years, in many Hindu Vedic rituals, the breaking of coconut is considered the most important aspect while performing the yagnas. Human perception occurs because of interactions between the subatomic particles of our brains and the quantum energy C. We literally resonate with the cosmos. So, when a coconut is broken during a ritual, in lieu of a blood sacrifice, it is done with intention. The belief is that our thoughts shape our actions and our actions shape our lives. In Vedic Hinduism, there is no animal sacrifice. The liquid that spills from the coconut is electrolytic plasma, and it contains lauric acid, which is also found in a mother's milk. Blood itself is an electrolyte. During World War II, tender coconut water was used by the Americans to provide plasma drips to dehydrated soldiers who had lost a significant amount of blood. You must be totally in the moment with NIL ego to have the alpha brainwave. In this sense, intention acts like a tuning fork, directing the energy and purpose behind everything we do. Before the coconut is broken, the family is encouraged to focus on a positive intention. Om is chanted along with that intention. It is a prayer for peace, happiness, and gratitude for a new beginning. The ritual is performed with awareness and sincerity. This is to tune ourselves to the quantum level energy matrix. This energy is transferred to our DNA. Human intention can create quantum fluctuations in the zero point field, or Akasha, a vast unharnessed energy source. Each individual mind has access to the universal mind. The moment you break the coconut, scalar waves from your DNA race out through the fabric of space-time cosmos, like a tsunami, a soliton wave to do their own miracle. This is not Hindu mysticism. This is quantum science.
I've always wondered about that. Why is Sanskrit language so important? And what is the significance of the mantras chanted during any auspicious rituals?
There's a deeper meaning behind it. For many Hindus, rituals serve as reminders, ways to express gratitude, focus the mind, connect with tradition, and bring a sense of sacredness to important moments in life. Sanskrit is one of the world's oldest languages. It was used for many Vedic traditions for thousands of years. It is also known as the language of gods and also the Vedas, the oldest Hindu scriptures. As most Hindu rituals are rooted in Vedic teachings, the mantras are preserved in Sanskrit to retain their original form, sound, vibrations, and meaning. Many practitioners believe that mantras are more than words. One of the most important elements of Hindu rituals is the chanting of Sanskrit mantras. Sanskrit mantras possess precise sound harmonics associated with the golden ratio of 1.618 Fibonacci patterns and the geometry of the Sri Yantra expressed through digital, mathematical, and geometrical precision. There is a direct phonetic link between longitudinal wave sound and visual symbols. Mantras are described as scalar energy-based sounds that resonate within the zero-point field or Akashic hyperspace. When we examine ancient Sanskrit verses, we often find remarkable patterns of rhythm, repetition, and structure. These patterns helped preserve teachings with great accuracy over long periods of time. Before books became common, knowledge was transmitted orally. The rhythmic structure of mantras helped ensure that these teachings could be remembered and passed from one generation to the next. Across many Hindu cultures, sound has always been associated with creation, transformation, and communication. In Hindu philosophy, sound occupies a special place because spoken vibrations influences the mind and emotions of the listener. This is one reason why chanting continues to play such an important role in ceremonies even today. When people chant together, something interesting happens. The group begins to synchronize. Breathing becomes steady. Attention becomes focused. The environment feels calmer. Whether viewed spiritually, psychologically, or culturally, chanting has long been associated with creating a sense of harmony, unity, and shared experience.
As someone trying to understand these traditions, I've noticed that Sanskrit is treated with great reverence. Is it simply an ancient language, or is there something unique about its structure and sound? Some people say sacred syllables like Om represent the primordial sound of creation. Can you explain about it?
Yes, you got it right. Sanskrit has a construct similar to geometry in cymatics and can be digitalized. There is mathematical precision embedded within the language, which gives it a remarkable power. There is a direct phonetic link between sound and symbol. For mantras, words must unfold from seed forms, and there must be a natural continuity in word formation and sentence construction. This precision helped preserve sacred texts and rituals across thousands of years. When people chant together, their breathing and attention synchronize, creating a sense of harmony and calm in the environment. Mantra sounds carry vibrations and resonance. Sanskrit mantras vibrate the DNA and the pineal gland, raising human consciousness. Om resonates with the Earth's heartbeat of 7.83 Hz, and some even point to the use of 783 Hz generators on Apollo spacecraft as an interesting connection. Om is a simple sound, a single syllable. Om is the primordial sound, and its vibration is associated with creation itself. It appears in prayers, meditation practices, yoga traditions, and countless spiritual rituals. Om serves as a reminder of connection, connection to the universe, connection to consciousness, and connection to something larger than ourselves. The Vedas recognized the concepts of resonance and frequency centuries ago. For many practitioners, chanting Om helps create a feeling of stillness, focus, and inner balance. Some proponents of these ideas argue that modern discoveries in quantum science have led to a renewed appreciation of concepts found in the Vedas. They view this as evidence that ancient wisdom contained insights that science is only now beginning to explore. There are also claims that the Hindu king mantra, Om, was adapted, mirrored, or transformed by other religious traditions over time. One such claim is that the number 786, when written in Devanagari script and viewed in a mirror, resembles the Om symbol. Supporters of this view ask an intriguing question. If these connections exist, why are they not more widely known or discussed? Whether viewed spiritually, philosophically, or symbolically, Om remains one of the most influential and enduring sacred sounds in human history.
But this raises an even bigger question. Could the power of Om lie not only in what we hear, but also in the relationship between sound, geometry, awareness, and human experience?
Now we're getting into something really interesting. Om opens up quantum tunneling, where wormholes are not restricted by the speed of light. Terminating a mantra, or even an intention, with Om is said to close the wormhole. Om opens up quantum tunneling, where wormholes are not restricted by the speed of light. Terminating a mantra, or even an intention, with Om is said to close the wormhole. Om is regarded as the first and foremost of all mantras. The frequency of Om is associated with the heartbeat of planet Earth. Since humans can hear only the harmonics above 20 Hz, uttering Om is viewed as identifying oneself with cosmic resonance. The efficacy of the mantric power of Om is said to emanate not only from its sound vibrations, but also from the inner attitude and intention of the speaker. What's truly remarkable is that throughout history, spiritual traditions have explored the relationship between sound and human experience. Think about it. A gentle melody can calm us. A powerful drumbeat can energize us. A soothing voice can comfort us. In a similar way, sacred chants are used to guide attention inward and cultivate awareness. Om sound, the buzz of 1,000,000,000,000 transformers. NASA and Russian astronauts take a 7.83 field generator in their spacecraft, or they go crazy. In NASA, it is seen that astronauts carry 7, 8, 3 Hertz field generators aboard their spacecraft because this frequency helps them maintain mental balance and well-being in the unique environment of space. Chanting Om raises your vibration to a higher consciousness, and it clears the channel for intuition. 3D cymatics of Om is the Shri Yantra, which contains the theory of everything To, as it factors in consciousness too. The sacred sound of Om and the importance of mantras are considered so powerful in Hindu traditions because when chanted, the two vibrating systems are in resonance with each other. A rise in the amplitude of the waves takes place. A rise in amplitude causes a rise in our consciousness energy. DNA is a superconductor that stores light at body temperature and can create magnetic wormholes in the ZPF. Microtubules and axonal membranes are hollow cylinders. According to Captain Ajit Vadayakil, sound vibration, Om plus geometry structure, yantra, and biology living form, DNA, neurons, are all connected through vibration and resonance. The universe is a unified system where vibration shapes form and life.
Woo! Fascinating. After exploring Om as sound, vibration, resonance, and consciousness, we arrive at an even deeper mystery. What is Sri Yantra, and why is considered such a powerful symbol in Hinduism?
According to modern researchers, sound is much more than something we simply hear. It may also be a force capable of shaping form itself. Cymatics experiments have demonstrated how sound frequencies can generate remarkably intricate geometric patterns in water, sand, and other materials. Captain Ajit Vadayakil describes the sacred sound Om as the primordial vibration, whose geometric manifestation is reflected in the Shri Yantra. From the Vedic viewpoint, Om and the Shri Yantra share a profound and direct connection, symbolizing the relationship between vibration, consciousness, and creation. Together, these ideas reflect an ancient wisdom that sound, vibration, and the fabric of existence are deeply interconnected. The Shri Yantra, also known as Shri Yantra, is one of the most revered sacred geometric symbols in Hinduism. It consists of 9 interlocking triangles arranged around a central point called the Bindu. Together, these triangles create a complex pattern that symbolizes the interconnected nature of existence. According to traditional interpretations, the upward pointing triangles symbolize consciousness and the masculine principle, while the downward pointing triangles represent creative energy and the feminine principle. Their union symbolizes harmony, balance, and creation itself. At the center of the Shri Yantra lies the Bindu, a single point from which the entire pattern emerges. In Hindu philosophy, the Bindu symbolizes the source of creation, pure consciousness, and the origin from which all existence unfolds. Sacred geometry is not unique to Hindu tradition. Similar patterns appear throughout nature in flowers, crystals, seashells, snowflakes, and even galaxies. Ancient cultures observed these recurring designs and viewed them as reflections of the underlying order of the universe. Across generations, the Shri Yantra has inspired wonder, curiosity, and deep contemplation. More than a sacred symbol, it invites us to reflect on humanity's enduring quest to understand the hidden principles that govern life and the cosmos. This journey naturally brings us to Vastu Shastra, an ancient Vedic system that seeks to align our homes and surroundings with the energies and rhythms of nature.
Wow, that's fascinating. So, if sacred sounds, mantras, and geometric patterns are, believed, to reflect cosmic order, did the ancient Vedic sages also apply these principles to the design of homes and buildings? Is that the philosophy behind Vastu Shastra?
There's a deeper meaning behind it. According to the Vedic tradition, that is precisely the idea. Just as the Shri Yantra represents harmony and balance in the universe, Vastu Shastra seeks to bring those same principles into the spaces where we live. In Indian architecture, the dwelling is itself a shrine. A home is called Manushyalaya, meaning a human temple. Vastu Shastra says that all dwelling spaces are alive with unseen entities, and prayers are necessary to purify the space from negative energy and to allow the flow of positive energy into the property. Just as the Shri Yantra symbolizes the interconnected nature of existence, Vastu Shastra views a home as a microcosm of the universe. Every direction and every space is believed to carry a unique quality and purpose. For many people, Vastu is not simply about construction. It is about creating an environment that encourages harmony, prosperity, and peace. Whether viewed as spiritual wisdom, traditional architecture, or cultural heritage, its goal is to help people live in greater balance with the world around them.
That's fascinating. Are you suggesting that sound, geometry, and even our biological systems may be connected through consciousness and resonance? Could you help us explore how quantum physics is viewed in relation to consciousness, reality, and the nature of the universe?
Many people often wonder about the same question. The classical physics of Newton takes a material perspective, in which the universe is composed of discrete building blocks, solid and unchangeable. But in reality, it is like a cosmic machine made up of separate parts. Quantum physics takes a spiritual standpoint in which there are no separate parts, in which everything is fluid and always changing. In this view, everything is connected and constantly interacting with everything else. In the Newtonian worldview, the universe is seen as a vast mechanical system governed by predictable laws. Human beings are regarded as small parts of this cosmic machine rather than active participants in shaping reality through consciousness or spiritual awareness. With quantum physics, we are creators of the universe. Fields of consciousness are called M fields, morphogenetic fields, or Brahman, the supreme force as per Advaita Hinduism, much like electromagnetic and gravitational fields. In symbolic terms, these are described as invisible fields that connect and influence life, much like other unseen forces that operate throughout nature.
From an outsider's perspective, that's quite remarkable. Even Werner Heisenberg, the father of quantum mechanics, once said that after learning about Indian philosophy, many ideas of quantum physics suddenly made sense. Ancient texts recognize that energy, consciousness, and intention are all connected, something science only formalized centuries. In GRIHA PRAVESH, ritual, practical wisdom, and spiritual philosophy come together beautifully. The ceremony transforms the simple act of entering a new home into a moment of gratitude, harmony, and sacred intention. The rituals create a sense of sacredness and gratitude. The practical aspects emphasize cleanliness, ventilation, positive social interaction, and mental well-being. The spiritual teachings remind us that a house becomes a true home when it is filled with harmony, respect, compassion, and positive intentions. GRIHA PRAVESH also reminds us that the principles often associated with the universe energy, frequency, and vibration can find expression in our daily lives. Through sacred chants and intentions, the sounds becomes prayer, geometry becomes art, water becomes blessings, and house becomes a home. Every element symbolizes connection and balance. Perhaps that is why this beautiful tradition continues to inspire families across generations. There is a teaching in the Bhagavad Gita: "They who perform their work offering all results to me, to them I offer the platform. Doubt it not that they will inexorably reach the top." It is a reminder that dedication, intention, and purpose elevate every action.
Yes, you got it right. Understanding that helps us appreciate the ritual in a completely different way. Griha Pravesh is more than a ceremony. It is a philosophy, a connection with nature, the cosmos, and the human spirit. Remember, the secrets of the universe are contained in energy, frequency, and vibration. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Griha Pravesh ceremony.